Macmillan Improving the Cancer Journey in Lanarkshire, and we're here today in Kilbride in EK Central Library to talk about our information and support service run by Macmillan with our lovely volunteers. So I'm here today with Isabel Edgar, who's our lead volunteer, John Grady, one of our volunteers, and Leslie Anderson, who has used our service in the library. So you might have been in Kilbride Library and you'll notice that just inside the front doors on the left-hand side, we have a Macmillan hub, which we call it. So we've got a sofa and chairs, and we also have lots of information on the walls, leaflets on all different types of cancer, leaflets on support with finances during cancer, effects of treatment. You might want some information on chemotherapy or radiotherapy. So you can find all the Macmillan information on the walls. So you can come in, just drop in and use the sofa to sit and read any leaflets you want. On a Monday, between 10 and 2, we have our volunteers who will sit in the hub, and anyone can just drop in for a chat. So we support anyone affected by cancer, so that might be the person with the diagnosis, it might be family members who are worried about the person or needing some information. So I'll pass over to Isabel to ask a wee bit about the kinds of things that people will come in with questions about when they drop into the library.
Yeah, so some people will maybe come in and want information on finance. Maybe they've had to stop working because of their cancer treatments and things like that. So we can then direct them to, to get information on finance. There's also, we also offer emotional support to people, so they'll come in and sit down and have a wee cup of tea and maybe tell us, what's going on with the family and sort of different things, what's going on in their life, maybe about their treatments, how it's affecting them, their chemotherapy, and just their journey in general. They talk to you about things like that. Maybe some things that they can't speak to their family. But they'll come in and they'll speak to us about it. And then we can send them on to, different, if they need counselling, we can maybe help them to get counselling done. We could maybe advise them to go to Maggie's. There's all sorts of different information, and as you say, Louise, the booklets and the leaflets on the walls and whatever. So some people will go away maybe with 2 or 3 books. Some could maybe be with them, like for diet, to help them with diet, maybe to put some weight on. There's all sorts of different things. It could maybe be a booklet on chemotherapy, and that tells them, just what to expect all the way down, the chemotherapy route. Some can also be like radiotherapy. So there's loads of booklets out there to help.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, as you say, having someone that's not a family member can be so important to be able to actually talk about your fears without worrying your family members. Everyone's always trying to protect their loved ones.
That's right.
So just having this drop-in. And as you say, you're signposting to all these services that people might not know are even there.
And even somebody might be up all night, worrying about it. So what you can do is advise them to go back to their Macmillan nurse specialist or their GP, whatever, or maybe go to pharmacy or whatever. What's the point of being up all night worrying about something when you can be pointed in the right direction, and then that's it, it can be resolved in 10 minutes or something.
Absolutely, take all those fears and worries away. And so, John, how long have you volunteered for Macmillan in the library?
Excuse me, I've been a volunteer for 4 years. And the reason I became a volunteer was I went through the same thing as when customers come in. So I've got healthy respect when someone walks through that door for the first time. And it might, as you said, it might not be them it's affected directly. It might be for an auntie, uncle, sister, brother, or whatever. But we treat them the same. And I think it's a great opportunity to people coming up and open up a way for their household environment. It's easier to talk to us. We're very empathetic to everybody's situation, and we can signpost them to other services. The thing that is a big issue for me is we're not highlighted anywhere in the town centre. So it's word of mouth. But the ICJ came along, and I think it's wonderful to see repeat people coming in. That means we've done something for them, listen to them, So if they want to come back, it means that they've done something for themselves as well.
Yeah.
And it's great. And there's no two stories alike. So they can sit in the group, sit with us and cherry pick bits of information. Maybe I should try that. Maybe that didn't work for me. And I think everybody's getting advantage. It's advantageous to everyone that comes in here. And for my personal views, when somebody walks through that door, they want to, the emotions are coming to the front, and they want to talk about it. And that's why we're here, to help, support and guide them. Without volunteers, I don't think Macmillan and a lot of other places like that, Chaz and things like that, I don't think they'd function.
No,
So I think everyone associated with Macmillan should get herself a pat in the back, because we're giving up our time to listen to people. And there's nothing better when they come back and say, I done that, it worked. I think it's very rewarding. For me, that's what I get out of it. Somebody comes back and says, we done it, but we didn't do it, we advised them.
Yeah.
And we're not clinically trained, but we've got backgrounds in nursing and things like that, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes that's beneficial when you're talking to somebody. But it's their opportunity to sit there in front of us and open up.
Yeah.
I don't care if they ramble, because it's an emotional whirlwind that going through with their family. They don't want to talk about some things in front of their partner. It's an opportunity for them to come here. And away from the home environment. We're up there, you're sitting with people who listen, help and support. And I think that's the three most important components of Macmillan.
Yeah, no, and the fact that you guys do give up your time to support others who are going through this, and it's an incredible thing that you do here. And as you say, it's not really well known, when I talk to people, they just don't know it's here. And I suppose partly this end of the town centre doesn't have the traffic it once did. But actually, once you're involved with the library, it's amazing what a fantastic community space it actually is. I mean, it's always busy when I'm here. Yeah. There's so many things going on. And actually, what we've developed is really a holistic service in here, because you have that drop-in support, the complementary therapies that are offered by Isabel, are absolutely incredible and so beneficial to people. We have the support group now. We just had our first relaxation session today as well. So there is so much support once you know it's here. And that sort of signposting onto other support is so valuable as well. So Leslie, if I can just introduce you as someone who's actually used the library services and the Macmillan services, sort of your experience of it.
Yeah, I think it's priceless. Everybody's just so supportive, non-judgmental. It's like a big warm hug. The first time I came in here, I just broke down in tears because I was in a bad place after my treatment. But the peer groups have been absolutely valuable to me, and it's great to speak to other people in the same kind of situation as yourself. And everybody just opens up, and we leave everything on the table, and you actually go out with a wee skip. You come in feeling quite low, but you go out thinking, do you know, I'm not alone. Everybody's on a tough journey, and the support's been incredible. And I've used Isabel's complementary therapy, and it's wonderful. You come out there after a foot massage and you're walking in clouds. It's wonderful. Definitely priceless, and I can't thank you guys enough for getting me this far in my journey.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. And the complementary therapies, I mean, I think we can't underestimate the importance of complementary therapies alongside the traditional treatments for cancer. Stress is such a huge part of any diagnosis, and the treatment's so harsh that it's a really difficult journey for people. And the fact that the complementary therapies are available not only to the person but also to a family member as well, because that side of things can be so stressful, worrying about the person you love and what's going to happen to them. So Isabel, would you be able to tell us a bit about the kind of things that are complementary therapies, what that actually means and what the benefits are?
Well, it's like the person will come in, it's like a one-to-one as well. So most people like that, so that they're in the room with you, and they're talking, they'll maybe tell you more than what they would tell you in a group to start with. I kind of often find that. So what we do is aromatherapy. There's another girl with us called Lorraine, and she's fantastic as well. So what we do is aromatherapy, which is massage with the oils. We wouldn't probably do a full body massage on somebody. We would do maybe like their back, neck and shoulders, your head and face, your arms. It just depends where the cancer is in the body as well. So it's all tailored round that kind of thing. We know all the safe oils to use and the safe types of massage to use as well. Another one is reflexology. So on your feet, you've got reflex points that go to every part of your body. It's good for your immune system. It picks your mood up a few days after you have it done as well. Maybe some people are on heavy pain killers, and it makes them a bit constipated, so you can work on different areas of the body that kind of relates to that. It's a really nice treatment as well. Another one is Indian head massage, which is your head, neck and shoulders. So then again, some places you go, they might be quite rough, with it, but everything that we do is very soft and gentle, all about relaxing you and the feel-good factor. And another one is Reiki. It's hard to explain Reiki. So Reiki works on you physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's your own body that decides what it takes from it. But it's just very, very relaxing.
Yeah,
all of the treatments are relaxing. And that's what we're about, is just to relax and the feel-good factor.
Yeah, which is really important to manage that stress and those effects on the body that stress causes.
And emotionally, the emotions can be really high, and then by the time they go out, they're kind of calmer and relaxed, and breathing goes down. You can just notice all these kind of things.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I know I've referred a lot of people in, and it's such an invaluable service for me as part of the ICJ that we have something like this that we can direct people to. And the feedback that we get is incredible, the benefits that it brings to them.
That's good.
And obviously you have a wealth of experience with your background in complementary therapies, and you're oncology trained.
Yeah. So it's just a lovely treatment, and the room, it's okay. It's a nice wee room kind of thing. It's not too clinical. It's just lovely.
Yeah,
as I say, just to see people when they come in, the difference when they're going back out again, and then they're looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know people just want to keep coming back for more, don't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I mean, I've had feedback like that, coming out floating, being able to sleep. Sleep is just something that's very difficult when you're going through this journey and all the stress that comes along with it. So being able to get a decent night's sleep after a treatment is so important.
That's it. Yep.
And John, from your perspective, what is the kind of most common things you think that people come in with?
I don't think you can pinpoint one. Everybody comes in with different stories. I mean, I've been there, and you talk about, they take the first step. The first step for them is coming through the doors at library. And I sat in the car, just a quick story, I sat in the car park for an hour crying because I didn't know which way to turn, who to talk to. And I'd seen this, and it was Isabel the first day. Unfortunately for her, I spoke for about 2 hours. But I got everything out, and that I couldn't talk to my family about. And I remember coming in, my shoulders were slumped, my eyes were red. And when I went back out, I was a totally different person because I spoke about the journey I was facing ahead. And then that's what made me decide I want to be a volunteer to give something back. And it's been so rewarding for people to come back and say, oh, but I've done this, I've done that. And I think it's invaluable for them to come up to our place. People don't want to talk about it in their own environment sometimes. And it's the escape room, as far as I'm concerned. They come up here, and we can pinpoint them, guide them, pass on information. And that's what Macmillan's for. And I firmly believe that Macmillan is growing and growing and growing in this community. We got a girl in today, ex-nurse. She's done all sorts of things with palliative care and all things. She wants to be a volunteer.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. I asked her, how did you find it? She says, I just heard about it. And that's the beauty of being in here. People will go out and talk about, Macmillan. And it's not uncommon because there's 1 in 2 people affected by cancer. So it's not as if the word big C is kicking about anymore. Everybody's open and honest about it. And I think that's fantastic. Even youngsters are talking about it. And why not? Because you don't know who's going to be affected next. I think the services that Macmillan offer, and I'm part of the team, I love working with these lasses because everybody's got different knowledge and different levels, and it complements everybody. when an individual comes in.
Yeah.
As you say quite right, if it's an auntie, uncle, sister, brother, doesn't matter. They're taking the first step to come through that door.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when they go back out, they feel a wee bit enlightened. They feel that, oh, I know where I can turn to now. Because if they don't come in here, they flounder. And not having ageist, older people want to get into social media and look up things.
Yeah.
So that they come in here, and it's word of mouth. And it's getting to the stage that you talk to a computer. But Macmillan, in my view, I hope this is still going here in 20 years' time.
Yeah, oh, I definitely hope so. Yeah, it's so invaluable for people. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and one of the things, obviously, we started as a collaboration between ICJ and the Information Support Service was the peer support group, which has been such an important part of the services that are in here now. We started last July, so we're nearly at our anniversary.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, you've been a big part of that,
I've
Leslie.
been there,
and-
yeah. I missed the first one because I was ill through my treatment.
Mhm.
But when I did finally come to that, I try not to miss it now because it's great to speak to other people.
Yeah.
And even if your own experience, you can help somebody else. It's
Yeah.
a great group, even
And
just to sit and have a chat and
Yeah.
we have a laugh. We have a
And
few tears, but
I know we quite often have tears, and then sometimes I think people would never know this was about cancer, this group,
I
'cause
know.
we're all hee-hawing and laughing. And
There's always a lot of laughter.
Yeah.
there is,
there is.
uh-huh.
It's-
Yeah,
it's-
and I think that using humour is such an important part of keeping people
It helps you through,
motivated and
doesn't
getting
it?
through. Aye, but I think it's so important for, you're the person who's been through that journey, and to me, you're the most important person. You guys are also important because it's okay for me to signpost to something to say, or, Maggie's run this course, or there's something available here, but you can actually say, I've done that.
Because
you
I've
know,
done
and
quite a
this is-
few of the courses at Maggie's and then coming to this peer group's been
Yeah.
really good.
But
Yeah.
the support you've then passed on to
Yeah.
other people to be
Yeah.
able to say, yeah, you go here and they're really helpful, or, this one's great, this course. So
Yeah.
that's just invaluable because I might know it's there, but I've, not experienced it as an actual user of the service. So it's,
Well, there's another girl I met at Maggie's Centre and I keep telling her about this group, but she's just started her journey. And I'm like, you should come to the peer group. So
yeah.
I'll remind her it's on Monday again.
Yeah, that's it. We run every fourth Monday for the support group, and it has. I mean, that's the last twice we've had 16 people
It was really
attending.
busy.
It's been really
picked up
busy. So
really well.
it really does show you that the need has been there.
And it's just frightening to show how much cancer's out there.
Uh-huh.
Like, as you say, John, it's like 1 in 2 people. You don't realise that until you're part of this journey. You're like, whoa.
But I think it's testimony what you just said there. You had 2 weeks at 16 people. What would they have done otherwise? Who would they have turned to? So that's why it's a great initiative, and that's why the ICJ will kick off. It will get bigger and better. And I'm not saying it's not good, but it will get bigger and better. That's the way I see it. Anybody comes through the doors, we listen. And I don't know what Isabel's thoughts on this. I've never said to any of the people that come in, what cancer have you got? If they want to volunteer that information, that's their business. They're there for us to listen, not to be intrusive to their lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I think on the whole, it's a wonderful job at Macmillan's volunteers, especially your team.
Oh, aye. Yeah, I mean, obviously we should say, that we run this in a lot of libraries. It's not just East Kilbride. Obviously today we are particularly talking about the service in East Kilbride Library, but we have volunteers across Lanarkshire and different libraries, all running amazing services. And as you say, John, Macmillan, they couldn't run these things without the help of the volunteers. The variety of backgrounds that the volunteers have, what they're bringing, their own experiences or their own experiences with family members. Everyone's got their own reason why they choose Macmillan in particular, because there's a million places you could volunteer for. Everyone's looking for volunteers, but the fact that people choose Macmillan and want to pass on that support, that maybe they've had support themselves, or there's just that reason why they choose it. But
I think when an individual or individuals affected by cancer, that is the key word. They need support. They need someone around them to put an arm around them in a positive mode. Get negativity out the road. You've got to be positive about it, because what's happened is behind you. It's the way forward. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's how you deal with your journey.
Yep.
Your journey. And that's why I think your group is so invaluable to people. Once again, I'll repeat, you cherry pick off everybody, because no two journeys are alike. And people walk away for that. And there's a wee guy in that group, he comes up and shakes my hand all the time. And that tells me he's enjoying that. He's not just there for a cup of tea or a biscuit. He's there to listen and put his tuppence worth in. I think it's a great thing, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you may want to talk, sometimes you may want to just listen. But yeah, just having people around you that will support you and wherever you are and just meet you where you are and offer that advice and support. It's a privilege to be part of it. I've been astounded by the support we've had for it, and everyone, you know, the support in the library, giving us the space, all the staff all run about looking after us, bringing us tea and coffee and setting up the chairs and putting them all away again, and you know, everyone just couldn't be more helpful. So it's been a great experience, and I think it is, you know, a perfect example of the collaboration that can happen between, although we're all Macmillan, you know, it's different organisations, but by working together, we've really created a good community space with lots of support that's available. So I hope everyone will get to know that we're here, get to know what's available. We'll keep spreading the word and tell everybody, you know, that
I know, that's
we're here, this is it. And to make use of those services, because you say, John, when you get that diagnosis or someone in your family gets that diagnosis, you can't manage that alone. Statutory services, obviously the numbers of people that have cancer these days, the statutory services are overwhelmed. So there's the space in the third sector for us to support people and give them the time that they can't really be afforded, as much as some of the cancer nurse specialists. I mean, they're incredible and they offer up their time and advice. But we have the luxury of having a bit more time that we can offer people to give them. I think
also if you get into the website, which a lot of people don't do because of age-wise, you see the advertisements on the TV and they'll listen to TV, but I think there's nothing better than a face-to-face.
Yeah.
Where you can read their body language, see how they're, you know, they want to break down and cry. Why not? Nobody's judgmental. We're all here for a reason. And I was in your group one day, and I think you remember the lady who was with her daughter, dressed in purple. And she was telling a story about how she lost her hair. And she shouted me over. And she showed me this picture on her phone. I said, "Who's that?" She said, "That was me 10 years ago." I said, "Oh, you're stunning." And she turned and took her wig off.
Wow.
I looked at her. I said, "What's wrong?" She went, "Do I look different?" "Oh, obviously she looks different." I said, "But what's vanity's out the window." She went, "How do you wash a wig, John?" As if I'm supposed to know. I said, I actually don't know. I paid £500 for this wig. I said, "I might should have got the washing instructions." I don't know. But that's the group that brought her out like that. She wouldn't talk to me in the street and do that, or sitting in a pub or a restaurant. It was a group because she felt comfortable. And her daughter said, she's never spoke like that before. Yeah. And that's why I said it's a well-run group. Everybody's got an opportunity to talk or listen. And I think the longer it continues and the more numbers come in, that's a double-sided coin when I say the more numbers come in, because that means more people are getting affected by cancer somewhere.
Yeah.
Other hand is, if a group disperses, that'd be great, because then nobody's affected.
Well, I know.
You're not going to get that.
That's what I say, John. I would quite happily lose my job if it meant that cancer wasn't here
Absolutely.
anymore.
Absolutely.
I would love to see the day where we did not need Macmillan or its services, but at the moment we definitely do. So we'll continue to support people.
If you're not broke, don't change it.
Aye, that's it. And I think just getting that message out, and I think you highlighted the TV adverts all show nurses, and you hear Macmillan, and you think palliative care nurses, which I've had quite a few times.
That's what I thought it was always going
yeah,
to be. Until you phoned me, and I was like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
I love the wee
I know,
chat with
because
you on the
sometimes
phone.
you scare people when you phone and they're like, "Why is Macmillan phoning me?" So it is important that we spread the word that actually we do a lot more than nursing. You know, Macmillan fund a lot more than that. Lots of projects like this that are more about that practical and emotional support to get people through their journey and to support them on the way. So thank you very much for joining me today, everybody. I think that was a great chat about our services. And anyone that's listening, we are in EK Central Library, Mondays from 10 till 2. Drop in and see the volunteers. They'll keep you right on all the information for the other services that we run, on the complementary therapies and the support group. You'll be very welcome to join us. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.